Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys and you ladies, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. So let's get open for business here. And let's wake up those football gods, shall we? It is Taco Tuesday, and I hope you all have a great Taco Tuesday in the house. We are getting closer and closer. As you look down, you see we have 9 days, 10 hours, 30 minutes, and 46 seconds away from the beginning of the 2021 NFL draft. And it's going to be a party for all of us. If you were here last year for our draft party, I think we've gotten all the bugs out from last year, but it was great because the draft, I had actually planned on being in Vegas for the draft and everything, but, you know, the pandemic happened. It was just bad, and there was no chance of it. And I have to admit that I am addicted to you guys. I love being around people and doing what we did. And so we came up with the draft conference call. So we're going to be doing that. Hopefully it'll be kind of on steroids. We will actually have a few people here as a studio audience. So I'm hoping you'll be here. You'll join in. If you are a channel member, not a subscriber, you'll be able to call in and you will be part of the show. So this is going to be great. I'm going to be doing a couple of practice call-ins over the next couple of days because I've got to make sure I got all the bugs and everything out, and I still have a lot of work to do to get the set all the way together for everything, but you can best believe I will be ready. So news-wise, everything is kind of quiet. Yesterday, Stephen Jones kind of threw a wrench into everything. We'll get to Stephen Jones in a minute, but yesterday was also a significant day because Alex Smith decided to retire. And if you haven't seen the video from him, his video basically letting you know he was going to retire, although he thought about signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars, came close to reuniting with Urban Meyer, but in the last minute decided, no, this is a good spot to stop. But Alex Smith had effects on others. In fact, Dak Prescott, he ended up posting yesterday, I have to thank, honestly, Alex Smith to see somebody who's already done it and did it actually in worse circumstances that allowed my mind to go, hey, I can do this. So he's been an inspiration definitely to Dak Prescott as well as others. So you have to love that. Also, too, yesterday was an interesting day because yesterday was the beginning of OTAs. The NFLPA and DeMar Smith have gone on record as saying that we don't want to go back to what we used to do, that what we did last season worked for the NFL and for the players. They said the concussions because, excuse me, got a little tickle here. They said because of not having preseason games and not having the in-person virtual reality, having in-person workouts, that they said there was a 30% reduction in concussions and a 25% lessening of players missing games. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you got to look at that and say that was some bullshit because we lost everybody. I mean, we lost Thomas Smith, we lost Lyle Collins, we lost, our whole offensive line, including the backups. We lost our quarterback. I mean, we lost player after player after player. Maybe other teams had better luck than we did, but we got beat the hell down. I'm just saying. But the NFLPA wants to continue doing exactly what they did, doing away with the preseason games. Doing away with having in-person workouts, and suggested to the players that the players boycott any in-person workouts. Here lies the problem because some players get that workout bonus. In some players' cases, it's significant if you are a lesser player. Also, too, if you're a lesser player, a guy who's on the bubble, you saying, nah, I ain't going to work out. The team may just say, okay, that's cool. You go over there on the other field and work out, kind of like Jimmy Johnson did with the kicker, and they will find somebody else to replace you. So you're that guy. You want to be seen as much as possible. You want to see that you're a gym rat that's there at the facilities. Now, Stephen Jones said that, they have a great world-class training facility where he's up in the tower. He's not anywhere near the players. And that they can spread out and they can social distance, they can be safe and so on. And the Cowboys led the NFL with players working out this offseason at the facilities. They can do the strength training and all that stuff there and get that on, but they will need to do the classroom work virtual reality wise. So that's not quite as bad. And an update on the Cowboys. A number of Dallas Cowboys players reported to start today for the start of the team's voluntary workout program. Sources said no coordinated collective opting out was seen on the Cowboys, unlike a lot of other teams. A lot of other teams like, nah, we'd like to actually have the extra time. Meetings with coaches will be held virtually, but in-person strength and conditioning is underway. So I dare say that that's a good thing for the Dallas Cowboys to have these guys, because ultimately I think part of the problem was last year was, especially with the new guys, that they didn't have an opportunity to be seen and working out with the facilities. And if you had injuries and things, you really need that training staff to work and get you ready for the grind of the season. And maybe that's part of the reason why some of the players didn't respond very well. Other news, of course, of the Cowboys. The Cowboys claim that they have been working on safety for a number of years. Basically, they've gone through and said, it's been a saga for the Cowboys. They tried when Earl Thomas was younger to try and get him. And we know that Earl Thomas had come through famously and said, come get me. But that didn't work out. Seattle was always wants too much in a trade, and the Cowboys looked and said, he's in his 30s. We're not going to give up that much draft capital. Thanks, but no thanks. And so that situation, they tried to get Jamal Adams. But again, another situation where Seattle ended up paying like they ended up expecting to get, giving up 2 number ones for Jamal Adams. And I don't recommend giving up 2 number ones for anybody. Sorry, I just don't. I believe in strength in numbers. So maybe this is Stephen Jones letting us know that they're going to be working on safety in the draft. That's kind of what I take from that they realize that safety has been an issue. If you realize it's been an issue and you've tried to get some veterans and you ended up bringing in a guy like Clinton Dix that you thought might be a bridge and that didn't work, I know you've signed Keanu O'Neal as well as, God, having a brain fart today, as well as the other safety and stuff, and you're hoping that they're going to be the guys. But you may also need to be looking at drafting a safety in the draft. And this is where it's going to be interesting, because safety is kind of like tight end. I know everybody's going crazy about Kyle Pitts and that he should be, a top 5 pick in this, that, and the other. I get that. But generally speaking, tight ends aren't a first-round drafted position, much like interior defensive linemen, and also like safety. If you think about when we drafted Tristan Hill later in the 2nd round, there were 3 great safeties that are playing great, like Warren Thornhill, that were still there on the board. So safety is definitely one of those positions that you can go ahead and say, yeah, we can get a great safety in the 2nd round. And the fact that the Cowboys do have 2 number 3s, it's conceivable, if you want to get crazy, that the Cowboys could go ahead and try and see if they can get Patrick Surtain with their 1st pick, and then turn around and get a safety with your 2nd pick, which is the 44th, and conceivably take a 3rd and a 4th and move back into the 2nd and try and get one of the top-notch interior defensive linemen. Then all of a sudden your defense could be markedly better with young guys that'll be able to step in as some of these other players that you've signed have aged out. But that's just a thought. And that's about all we really have for this morning. I've got a lot I got to get done. I got to get these Joe Bardys need to go out, and I've got to get some more built. I've got some changes in the studio I've got to do on the outside to get that all together. But we are going to take care of business. So as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.